Have you ever wanted to be a hero? Somebody who saves lives? Did you know that you actually have the ability to be both of those things? A hero and somebody who saves lives? By being an organ donor, you are exactly these things. I know this because I've had family members who have been organ donors and have decided to give their organs up upon their death. When my grandmother passed away, the hospital kept us up to date as to where her organs went and who they went to. We didn't know specifically who the organs went to, but we knew information about them and why they were deserving of the organs themselves. You see, it was incredible. My grandmother was able to be that hero and to be someone who saved lives upon her death. It was amazing. But what does that have to do with you? Everything. That has everything to do with you. This is because you make the choice of whether or not you're an organ donor. You make the choice whether or not you want to be that hero and save lives. One day, you might even need an organ, and you'll be grateful to the person who decided to be an organ donor and give you that organ. When we die, we don't need our organs anymore. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to decide to take our organs with us. Why would we take our organs with us when we could give them up for organ donation and help save the lives of other people? Why would we keep our organs when we could give in to someone's last resort, help them when they have no other options? Why would we keep our organs when we could save lives? When we die, our organs no longer serve our bodies a purpose. First question that many people ask is, what happens when we die? Now, I'm not talking about what happens to our soul or our spirit or whatever you believe is inside of you, aside from your organs. When we die, our bodies relax and we stop using our organs. The brain remains in use for about 10 minutes after we die, but that is the only organ that remains functioning in the body. Our bodies then begin to chill and our heart stops beating. The body then goes into a state called rigor mortis. In this state, the organs themselves begin to shut down and die. They're no longer functioning and no one is trying to harvest them or preserve them. So in this instance, they die. This means that at this point, a person no longer needs their organs. When we die, our bodies shut down. Our bodies make no effort to preserve the organs upon death because they're no longer needed. Therefore, our organs serve us no purpose when we die. But just because we don't need our organs when we die, why should we donate them? Be that superhero. Save lives. Be that superhero and save lives so that other people can benefit from it. According to Mayo Clinic, over 100,000 people are desperately waiting for organ donation. They're waiting transplant. 100,000 people. This is Kyle Field. Kyle Field houses over 100,000 people. Just over 100,000. So look at this field. That is how many people are desperately waiting for organ donation. On top of that, 20 people die each day waiting for organ donation. 20 people. According to UNOS, or the United Network for Organ Sharing, over 120,000 people are waiting organ donation. 120,000 people. 100,000 of them are desperately waiting for organ donation. But 120,000 people total are waiting for organ donation. Many people choose not to donate because of the fact that the thought of organ donation is pretty daunting. They don't know who's getting their organs or why, and if they're deserving, and it's so daunting to them. One organ donor can donate up to 8 organs that can help 10 different people. But we look at the gap and we see that the waiting list is so much greater than the number of donors and transplants that happen. These statistics are from 2017, and we see how great the gap is. There was a decrease in 2017, but that gap is still so large. We also see the organs that people are waiting for. A person can give up to 2 kidneys, part of their liver, their entire liver, their heart, their lungs. It depends on the situation. There are other organs that can also be donated, such as the pancreas, the intestines, and other things like the eyes, the corneas, and the skin. 120,000 people are awaiting these sorts of donations. Many of the people who decide to donate their organs are still alive. The number of deceased donors is greater than the number of living donors. But we see how many people in death, as of 2018, gave up their organs and decided to be organ donors. But that still isn't enough. One person can donate up to 8 life-saving organs. You can donate your heart, 2 lungs, your liver, the pancreas, 2 kidneys, and your intestines. You can help 10 people at least when you decide to be an organ donor. Ten people. If 20 people die each day, if 2 people that passed away were organ donors, you could save those 20 people. However, when we look at the statistics, we see that not everyone sees this side. It just shows how important being an organ donor is, though. If you can save up to 10 people, being an organ donor is so important. But another question people ask is, how do they know that someone who really deserves these organs is getting them? Which is a great question. Many hospitals do not offer organ donation as an option unless it is their last resort, their last source of treatment. This means that this procedure is very specific, very unique. It means that you cannot just get someone's organs. Organ donation and transplant are 2 very, very complicated things. This means that not anyone can just get your organs. No. You have to meet criteria in order to qualify for organ transplant. Transplant is a major surgical procedure. Therefore, you may not be right for organ donation. You might not be suitable for transplantation. But that doesn't mean you can't be an organ donor. It doesn't mean that just because someone isn't qualified to be a transplant recipient that you shouldn't be an organ donor. The patient must be evaluated by a transplant center in order to figure out whether or not they are able to receive organs. Organ donation is part of a process that's very complex. And the recipient must meet a certain criteria. That is how you know that your organs don't just go to some Joe Schmo who doesn't deserve the organs. This is how organ donors know that their organs are not going to fall into the laps of the wrong people for the rest of their lives. In conclusion, we see that the impact of organ donation among the community, the world, everyone, is so great. But we also see what a lack of organ donation has, what it has as far as an impact on people. We see what it means. When we leave this earth, there will be a lot of things that we can't take along with us. One of those things is our organs. This means that we should donate them. We should give back, be a hero, and save lives. We can benefit from these things by helping others. We can benefit in knowing that we will help others, and others will benefit from our organs. Some of these people are on their last resorts. Some of these people have nowhere else to turn, and this may be their second chance. It's estimated in the US that every day 20 patients die because of lack of organs. 20 people die. If one donor can save up to 10 people, that means 2 people who have been organ donors and are on their deathbed can save those 20 people. It's possible. But if you and more of your friends decide to be organ donors, you could save up to so many more lives. You could make that 20 be a 0. We could save everyone's life who needs organs if we all decide to be organ donors. By convincing all of your family and friends to be organ donors, we can put an end to these unnecessary deaths.